Coming up now on Animal Outtakes, the dinner bell is ringing and we have the food buckets ready. Wait till you see who's coming for dinner.
They don't get a lot of these, but this is a treat. They love their deli sandwiches.
Feeding wild animals is a big no-no. We're checking in on some of our injured feathered friends.
People feed them at the piers. People throw, they toss some fish. They're used to people interaction there, which is also on the flip side.
Should they be doing that?
No.
No. And we're going inside the exhibit with these toothy reptiles. This and much more straight ahead on Animal Outtakes. Hello and welcome to Animal Outtakes. I'm your host, Marcia Panucci. In Florida, there is one reptile you will likely see, especially if you're hanging around ponds and lakes, an American alligator. And while getting close to one in the wild is not advised, at the Alligator Attraction in Madeira Beach, Florida, getting up close is actually encouraged. Travis, it's been a real pleasure to come here and be here with your friends.
Oh, yes.
And we need to talk about the alligators and the fact that you are educating people towards them. I know that when we first walked in here, a thought came across my mind, and it was, are they being humanely treated? And obviously they are. They're happy, they're moving around, and they're not attacking. How is it that you do that? How do you make them this way?
Well, number one, I really don't make them this way. What we do is the majority of our alligators come from alligator farms, where they're hatched for product. So what farms do, and there's nothing wrong with farms, there's good and plus size to farms, but they want to power feed their animals so they can harvest them in about the time they would be about 5 years old in over a year's period. What we do is the smaller ones, which are called runts, which will not grow, normally the farms discard. So number one, we're saving them from just being hatched and destroyed. The second thing working with them is, like you said, we do education with them. And the idea is there's 1.5 million alligators here in the state of Florida. So it equals out to where there's actually one alligator per 6 residents. And with new residents moving here daily, it's nice to teach people what's in their backyard, the do's and don'ts. I mean, these guys are protected by state and federal laws. They were once on the endangered species list, late 60s, early 70s, made a great comeback, and we really got to thank the FWC here in the state of Florida. I mean, it's a great success story. These guys are a great success story. And not only are they our official state reptile, we are actually the only state in the 48 that naturally have alligators and crocodiles.
Now, you mentioned all of the alligators that are here in Florida, and it is our state animal per se. But let's face it, the average Floridian and tourist can become very apprehensive. What do they do? We've heard all of the myths. If you see one, start running in a zigzag manner. Do they actually climb fences to get over to you? And what do you do when you're walking your dog near a water, a pond or a little lake or what have you? I mean, all of these things come into this. How do you advise us?
Well, number one, I'll tell you a great rule. Where the zigzag thing came up from, I have no idea. Because look at their eyes. Their eyes are like a bird's. Their real vision from the tip of the nose to the tip of the tail. Their true blind spot is directly behind them. Now out front here, they can see, but their depth perception's not there. Now they can run about 15 miles an hour for a short burst of 15 yards. So if you're ever being chased by one, run straight away. More than likely, the alligator can't figure out how far away you are and won't chase you. But if you zigzag, once you get over here, you're in the line of sight. Boom.
That's right, because the eyes are going this way.
Exactly.
Okay, so tell us, Travis, about that myth. Can they crawl fences?
They can climb fences, and if you kind of look at this pen right here that we're actually in, the chain link fence, they're great climbers. The chicken wire, kind of deters them because it's loose, they can't get a good grasp, and they actually just kind of bend and go back down to the ground. But they can climb chain link fences.
Okay, so we'll have to watch that fencing then.
Yes, absolutely. That's how they usually get into people's swimming pools.
Now, how old is this guy?
This guy here, he's actually a 6-year-old. His name is Zorro. And he is a North American alligator. Now, North American alligators you find here in the United States anywhere from Texas all the way to the southern part of North Carolina. And there's actually only 2 types of alligators in the world, the North American alligator and the Chinese alligator. So we are very blessed here in the United States to have these guys. They are just a fantastic animal.
Now, you have used some wonderful adjectives. You're blessed. We are so wonderful to have these animals. They still are an extremely dangerous animal. So you're using the flip side to tell us educationally about them. So what makes us so blessed to have really a predator amongst us?
Well, the way I look at it, number one, think about it. They've been around for 65 million years. They haven't changed in 35 million years. And you know, doing research with animals, you know, some people might agree with it, some people might disagree. But they do research with these guys. They do AIDS research because how they can fight off diseases. Their immune systems are just outstanding how they fight diseases. They can do neat things by slowing down their heartbeats so they can stay underwater for about 2 hours on 1 breath of air. They can, if they get wounds, they can shut down nerve endings to where they won't feel pain, and if the wounds are bleeding, they can actually control and stop the blood flow so the wounds heal quicker. Larger ones, in times of when they can't find food, can actually slow the metabolisms down to where they can almost go an entire year without eating.
How many do we have right behind us?
We have a couple of 6- and 7-year-olds behind us here. I think we have 7 altogether.
Okay.
Now, the one that is saying hello, that is Miss Twilight. She is a 7-year-old North American alligator.
Well, Miss Twilight, I think it's time to say goodbye. Once the gators at the Alligator Attraction get to be about 6 feet long, they are given to another sanctuary or zoo to spend the remainder of their lives. Now, it is against the law to feed wild alligators in the state of Florida. Alligators that are fed by humans lose their natural fear of us and start to associate humans with food, which could be extremely dangerous. Stay with us. More Animal Outtakes is coming up next. Every dog deserves a lifelong loving home. Dantes Den provides a pristine, comfortable haven for dogs that have been abandoned or surrendered by their owners. Every pup in our Joyful Dogs adoption program receives lots of love and attention, is properly immunized, spayed or neutered, and is in good health. Find your new furry best friend at Dantes Den. For more information, go to dantesden.org or call 844-DANTES-DEN.
People have asked me what it'll cost to restore all the corals back the way they remember. But I have to ask them, what will it cost if we don't do anything?
Nearly all of the animals that are picked up and treated at the Wildlife Center of Venice are injured directly or indirectly by humans. But it is some caring humans who are now helping those animals in need. Mark, we're in a very quiet zone, and it is the hospital. Very critical care, I understand.
Yes.
Can you tell us about this facility?
This building was intended to treat animals when they first come in that need quiet, contained care, treatment around the clock. It gives them an area that's a little bit away from all the other animals that they can quietly recuperate and get through the first stages of recovery.
Now we see, of course, a lot of birds here. Is that mainly what you treat in this area?
Yes, this is a bird hospital.
So what type of illnesses or accidents are we seeing here today?
Well, because it's season here and there's lots of golfing going on. We get a bunch of the larger birds that get hit with golf balls or get into entanglements in the golf courses. We get animals that have been hit by cars because you see them crossing the road all the time and the traffic's bad.
And why is it that they slow up? You know, you can only block for so long.
Yeah, yeah. No telling why, except for that they love the mowed grasses around the roads. So when they decide to cross the road, it's kind of scary for them. So they'll slow up. You know, stop.
Sure.
Somebody's honking their horn, they'll stop. You know, instead of just walking across the road.
Sure.
So.
But you have a rather unusual case that has come here 48 hours prior to us filming.
Yes.
And it's a very critical case.
It is. It's a sandhill crane that was electrocuted. Somebody actually saw it. It was on a golf course. Somebody actually saw it fly into the power lines and get electrocuted. It was still alive, and so they called us, and we went out, and one of our rescuers picked it up, brought it in to us, and we've been treating him now for 2 days. The thing with electrocution is that you don't see all the injuries and the problems because some of them are internal and some of them don't present themselves until much later on in the process. So right now he's under constant care and a watchful eye and being medicated and fed and carefully monitored.
And what type of treatment is there for electrocution?
Well, mostly we take care of the superficial injuries first. If there are broken bones or you know, areas that were burned, we would treat those. In his case, there were no superficial injuries except for that he's showing signs on the edges of his feathers that he was electrocuted. You can smell it, and he wasn't able to stand. Now, 48 hours later, he's able to stand. Very gingerly, he's falling a little bit. And
so he's still very wobbly.
Right, very wobbly, using his wings to try to balance himself in his beak, but that's a good sign of progression. But we don't know internally, you know, what has happened. You get burning that happens with electrocution to internal organs, so those take days to show up.
In your mind and your heart, what do you think the prognosis is?
So far, so good. He's looking like he's improving. So.
And at some day, if the recovery is good, will he be able to exist in the wild again?
Sure.
What we have behind us is synonymous with Florida, our beautiful, wonderful pelicans. But they're here at the Wildlife Center of Venice for a particular reason.
Yes.
Tell us, Pam.
Most of the brown pelicans that we get here this time of year, generally man-made entanglement, fishing line, hooking a pelican, you know, as they're casting off, the hooks will catch them, or they'll try to go after the bait and we have to remove the hook. Sometimes it requires sutures, antibiotics, pain meds, and then once they go through that process, then they'll come out here with all the other pelicans and work on waterproofing in the pool and flight testing them for release.
Now, is there a particular season that you see more pelicans, or because it's Florida, is it all year?
It is Florida, so we do get them throughout the year, but we do peak in the wintertime with them.
Because there's more people here, and again, that human error starts creeping into what happens to them.
Absolutely.
Now, you have some gorgeous pelicans here. They all have character, they all have personality. How long have they been here, and are they rehabbing the way you want them to?
We've had these guys roughly about 2 to 3 weeks. So what we do in the meantime is we evaluate based on what injuries they had sustained from either the entanglement or the hook, go through the antibiotics. They'll come out here, we'll check their waterproofing, we'll deworm them at the same time. So usually about 3.5, 4 weeks at the most. Most of these guys will generally rotate in and rotate out.
So the lesson to be learned with these pelicans, or any pelicans here in Florida, don't feed them, because that's really not helping them. Get away from the fishing lines, which are so harmful to them.
Absolutely.
And what else should we be watching for?
If they hook a pelican, they need to not cut the line. They need to bring the pelican in. If it's an easy cut and remove, great. If not, then give us a call and let us go pick them up.
Here's an interesting fact for you. Did you know pelicans can be found on every continent except Antarctica? And when it comes to those beautiful white pelicans, their 9-foot wingspan makes them one of the largest birds found in North America. You will notice during breeding season on mature adults, a horn-like plate forms on the white pelican's upper bill. These big birds are said to be more buoyant than their brown pelican cousins. So you won't find the white pelicans diving headfirst into the water to get their food. Instead, they work together to surround the fish and then scoop them up. It's time for lunch and our next guests are hungry. Can you guess which animals this bucket of food is for?
A home can be much more than just a house. But for some of our neighbors, home means uncertainty and isolation. At Rebuilding Together, we turn houses into homes and revitalize our communities. Because a neighborhood is more than just houses and streets. It's familiar faces and open arms. Join the movement to ensure everyone can live in a safe home and community. Become a rebuilder today.
You like to pay less. That's why you made Honda Accord the best-selling mid-size car in America. Get the redesigned Accord, the North American Car of the Year, or Civic, a KBB.com Best Buy for less than the competition. Like SUVs and trucks? Get Motor Trend's SUV of the Year, CRV, the 8-passenger Pilot, or Ridgeline truck for up to $4,240 less. Today at your local Honda dealer.
Every time you purchase a fishing license or register your boat, you're helping to preserve our nation's coastlines, lakes, rivers, and streams, protecting memories for generations to come. Learn how your participation in boating and fishing can help the environment at takemefishing.org/conservation.
You know when you're hungry, your stomach growls. Well, let's just say your stomach sounds nothing like our next guest's tummy. In fact, you wouldn't want to keep them waiting when it's time to eat. Jackie, I've got my bucket. Now, this is one heavy bucket, but it's loaded with good stuff.
Good
I see
stuff.
Lettuce, and I see bread, grapes. What else is in there?
Well, we have watermelon, we have a little bit of chicken.
Cooked?
You cook chicken.
Cooked chicken.
Yeah, they get most of their food every day cooked. They do get raw meat and things like that.
Wow, this is a sandwich. This is a beef sandwich.
This is a treat.
Right?
They don't get a lot of these, but this is a treat. They love their deli sandwiches. Donated from Winn-Dixie.
Aha, okay. And we also know that Target is a huge supporter of yours, and not only does dry goods and whatever else that you need, but also some food.
They give us a lot of food. They give us chicken, eggs, a lot of dry goods, cleaning supplies, things of that nature, right?
Isn't it wonderful that these groups are so wonderful to the animals?
Yeah, you know, without their support, it would be virtually impossible for us to continue to treat these animals the way they should be treated.
What is their history? I mean, they're really quite calm.
Oh, they are. Yeah, their history is this is Laverne, Shirley, and Squiggy. Squiggy is the big grizzly. They were used in commercials, and when they wouldn't perform the way they wanted them to, they beat them with pipes. So they were confiscated, and
rightfully so.
Rightfully so, and brought to Octagon.
You know, it's a shame because they are still wonderful creatures, loving creatures after being so abused.
Yeah.
They do trust. You can see it in their eyes.
Yeah.
They have warm eyes.
They do.
They do
in
have
fact,
warm eyes.
Squiggy will sit down on his haunches and actually do the love sign. I mean, we never ask him to do it, but he does it. And it's heartwarming when he does it, but
Well,
yet
yeah.
it's like, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that. You're going to get fed anyway.
Yeah.
So, because we never do anything to make our animals
No tricks.
no tricks.
No tricks.
No, they've done enough of that in their
Yes.
lifetime.
Yes. They are doing exceptionally well.
Exceptionally well. Most of our animals outlive their lifespan here at Octagon. So, and taking into consideration sometimes the way they come here with their health issues, we have a tendency, due to Lori, our director, and our veterinary care, to turn their life around, to get them healthy and keep them happy and content.
She was just given a chicken wing.
Yes,
Bone and all.
yes. They
so
love it.
I'm hearing a lot of crunching.
crunching.
Yeah. So obviously this doesn't hurt them in any way. The crunching of the bones and the swallowing of the bones, this is all part of their normal diet.
It is part of their normal diet, and a lot of the animals, they actually need bones for digestion. It aids in digestion, especially the cats. They definitely need bone in their diet.
When you look at that food, Jackie, we're looking at cantaloupe, watermelon, banana, bread, grapes, chicken, lettuce, apples. Not bad.
It's a diet we all should be eating.
Octagon Wildlife Sanctuary depends on the help of volunteers and the community. Meat is donated by local companies like Harry Chapman Food Bank and food distributor Cheney Brothers. More Animal Outtakes is coming up.
Every dog deserves a lifelong loving home. Dantes Den provides a pristine, comfortable haven for dogs that have been abandoned or surrendered by their owners. We ensure that every pup in our Joyful Dogs adoption program receives lots of love and attention, is properly immunized, spayed or neutered, and is in good health. Prospective pet parents undergo a thorough adoption review to ensure a lifetime of love and care. Find your new furry best friend at Dantes Den. For more information, go to dantesden.org or call 844-DANTES-DEN. Dantes Den, continuing the love.
Attention! Do you have Medicare? Do you want to make sure you have the most benefits and lowest possible out-of-pocket costs? You may be able to lower your out-of-pocket costs and get dental, vision, and prescription drug coverage included in your plan. Call the Medicare Coverage Helpline now to find out what you deserve.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Buchwald. Over 3 million people have called the Medicare Coverage Helpline, but there are still many people who don't check to see if they're eligible for more benefits and lower out-of-pocket costs. It's so easy. One simple free call could save you money and get you more benefits. Be smart. Call the Medicare Coverage Helpline now.
Call now to see if you may be eligible to lower your copays and get extra benefits, including dental and prescription coverage. Don't delay. Call to see if you're able to save money and get more benefits now. Call 1-800-711-7200. Again, call 1-800-711-7200 now.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call. TrueStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
And even if you're on a fixed income, prices fit your budget, starting at less than 32 cents a day. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease. And with no medical tests or health questions, you cannot be turned down for any reason. Call 1-800-842-7189 now for a free, no-obligation quote. TrueStage offers plans to fit your budget. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage. Call 1-800-842-7189 now.
Gloria is definitely short for glorious because she loves the attention. And then as you can tell, she climbs around and because she wants out, she wants to be held.
Now this bearded dragon, well, the one thing about the skin here that I'm feeling, little bristles.
Yep.
Little bristles.
So the
all the way
texture
down.
of their skin can be different. There's different morphologies for all sorts of bearded dragons, kind of like dogs being bred different ways for specific features. But these guys are from Australia. That's where they're native to. So Australia, a good half of that is all desert. So they need to blend into the sand and the rocks and the rubble and things like that. And that's why she's all tan colored, and then she has all these different designs and all these little spikes and things like this. So the whole point is that she blends into the desert.
Of course.
And then prey and predators can't see her. And they do a very similar thing as the alligators do, and they're sit and wait predators. And they just wait for food to get close, and then when they see a bug or something nearby, then they'll run after it and go get it. And they're very fast. They can run really quickly, about 9 miles per hour.
And life expectancy?
Life expectancy totally ranges from 8 to 15 years. Like Blackbeard we have over there is 13, and then Buddy is 6, Coraline is about 1.5 years, and then our little Gloria here is about 10 to 11 months.
Now we need to ask, many of us want dogs and cats as pets, but we have heard about the bearded dragons being a pet. Does it make a good pet? But what must you know about it?
Very easy to take care of. They need digestible sand because you don't want to get them to have compaction if they ingest some sand and then it gets clogged in. But they just need sand. She already ate all her snacks because she really likes her snacks. But they need a supplemental food on the side just so that they can have some extra vitamins as well. And then fresh water every day, some rocks, a place to hide, a heat lamp, a UVB light. Like there's a small list, and they are one of the most easy animals to take care of. And then if you just hold them a little bit every day, here and there, they're super friendly. I have one at home who's 8 years old. He loves to come out and sit with me, watch TV. He doesn't really do much. He likes to go for bicycle rides. But they can be such a great and awesome pet, and they're very docile and easy to care for. Give them a bath every once in a while. They're not really water lizards, so you don't want to give them too many, but you just want to get the dust off a little bit.
Well, Gloria looks about as happy as any bearded dragon can get.
She gets very excited when she gets to come out. I usually give her a little treat at the end because she's so well behaved.
We hope you had fun and learned a thing or two along the way. We'll be back here again next week with even more animals and some wild adventures. Until then, thanks for watching.
This is Fiddlesticks.
Well, Fiddlesticks.
You want to hold Fiddlesticks for you kiss him?
He looks heavy. Can I hold him? Well, I'm going to need a little guy. And there he is, peeing.
Well,
they do that every time.
Gatorade comes.
You know, I said many years ago when we started this show, this is one great way to get rid of hosts.
And you winked at you. You see that?
And you winked at me. Fiddlesticks, yeah. Mwah. If you think I'm getting any closer, you got it.
You like to pay less. That's why you made Honda Accord the best-selling midsize car in America. Get the redesigned Accord, the North American Car of the Year, or Civic, a KBP.com Best Buy for less than the competition. Like SUVs and trucks? Get Motor Trend's SUV of the Year, CRV, the 8-passenger Pilot, or Ridgeline truck for up to $4,240 less today at your local Honda dealer.